Hello everyone, and welcome to the Last Live Club podcast, Blizzcon Soundbite. Soundbites are kind of extra little shows, like bonuses, that we're going to sprinkle in here and there as and when between the regular classic bi-weekly shows. And as the name would suggest, this one is all about BlizzCon. So I'm Gary, and joining me today is my fellow Last Live Clubber, and unfortunately Alliance member, Tess. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. Proud Alliance. By the way, you just add that proud into there.
We've all got our faults, no one's perfect.
Dirty Horde player.
Oh, whoa there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's starting off on a good foot, just
Exactly, yeah.
faction, hatred, just the usual. But as the name would suggest, it's all about BlizzCon, and this one was a biggie. This one was a huge one. It was the 10th BlizzCon, it was the 20th anniversary of Diablo, and it was the 25th anniversary for the company at large. So needless to say, there was plenty of announcements, plenty of things happening, like tournaments-wise, and just plenty of fun going on. So to start off at the beginning, day one, there was plenty of announcements. What was the first thing that immediately grabbed you, Tess?
The Diablo announcement, actually. It's the only one I've had time to watch in full. Because I sat down and I was just got a bit hooked in it. Actually, I never played the first Diablo or the second Diablo.
I have to admit, I have not played any Diablos, so I'm straight off the bat. I'm next to no use with you on this one.
Okay. Did you see anything about it, or?
I actually bizarrely totally watched most of his presentation towards it and thought this all seems pretty hellacious fun.
Yeah. It's a bit awkward, the whole presentation.
Oh yeah, they really missed Chris Metzen being out there being a hype man, didn't
Bless
they?
him. I miss that man.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, so Diablo 1 being put into Diablo 3, that is every year, which didn't show up great on the big screen, I must admit. But it did.
It's a weird one.
Yeah. And the Necromancer. Mancer.
I say Mancer because I'm bloomin' posh,
The Necromancer, which is an old class from Diablo 2, which they've brought back, which is basically, I spent the whole thing sitting there saying, they've brought Arthas to Diablo.
It's as things that I would like to happen, that's pretty high up on the list, so I would accept that.
Fair play. But yeah, basically, that was the first one that, really grabbed me. But, I mean, if you've watched it and you haven't played Diablo, I don't know, what was your impression of it?
Well, the thing is that I liked the idea of Diablo 3, but then it released to what can only be described as a bit of a poo storm, and that whole real money auction house and all the weird, leveling kind of not necessarily being so smooth, and all the people who are in grievances from Diablo 2, it basically wasn't Diablo 2, but their grievance, which is
Yeah.
obvious and true. But all of that happened, and I kind of was just left thinking, do I want to commit into Diablo 3? So I didn't. In the meantime, most of my friends ended up playing it off and on, whether it be with other friends or whether it be on their own. So when it came to the expansion, which apparently fixed all the problems, I was like, hey, anyone want to play Diablo? And they were just like, yeah, we already played that.
Yeah.
We're kind of done with that. I was like, oh, okay, huh.
I had it from the start because I paid for a year of WoW and got it free. Got that pretty sweet mount.
Yep, it is pretty sweet.
It is
very sweet.
Yeah. But I couldn't play it on my laptop at the time because it couldn't handle it. It couldn't run it. So I didn't play it until later. And I have played Reaper of Souls, but only on PS4. And I think that's one of the nice things about it is it's more accessible to people because it's on 5 consoles. PS3,
PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox One.
Yeah, and PC. Yeah. So it looks pretty exciting. It's I guess it counts as an expansion pack, sort of.
Yeah, I mean, this was the thing that I wanted to totally ask you. Was you disappointed it wasn't just a straight up expansion pack, rather than Diablo 1 again?
Kind of not, because for me, Diablo's got a lot of replay value. The story is fab, and the cutscenes are absolutely excellent, and every class plays so differently that it's worth playing it through again as something else. It's even worth playing through the same game on hard and nightmare because it's a challenge, it's enjoyable, and a lot with WoW, it's you before heirlooms existed and you just ran the same set for your entire leveling process, you get excited when you pick up a good piece of gear,
Yeah,
and it's that whole thing behind it. So I'm a little bit excited, a little bit disappointed that we didn't get any more story as such.
Like, you didn't have any more progression to your existing story.
Yeah, but I think they'll save that for another game altogether.
Yeah, like, I'm surprised that they didn't, like, say anything towards the future of it. They just kind of said, hey, we're remaking the past, and for someone like you and someone like me, like, I love the lore in WoW, so I'm sure that I would love the lore in Diablo, which would be just as rich, and as they're not progressing the story, and we haven't played Diablo 1, like, it's kind of like more lore, more story for us, kind of a brand new thing for us, and for all the other people who haven't done that. So in that respect, it's very cool. But yeah, it is surprising. Nothing extra to the future. No, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, and in classic Blizzard style, we got no release dates, we got no real information. It's just sort of the second half of next year-ish, maybe, you know.
Nice conservative goal to aim for, isn't it?
Like, we're not like tying ourselves to anything as per, guys, so, you know, enjoy it when it comes.
Yeah, I mean, I do have to say, like, I was expecting to go a little bit bigger for it being the 20th anniversary. Like, but I mean, I think this is fair enough, and I think there were a lot of people who were content.
Yeah, definitely. Especially, I think there's been a lot of, because I'm not a Diablo 2 player, and I mean, neither are you, but I think there's been a lot of call for the Necromancer to come back. And that has satisfied a lot of people. So he does look pretty cool, if not like incredibly OP, but yeah.
like immediately, like, they had a pre-rendered like trailer up, and I was like, well, that does look badass. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna say that does look pretty damn cool.
Exactly. But yeah, so not a massive disappointment, but not quite as much as I wanted it to be.
Yeah, you're like pleased, but yeah, I'm kind of pleased, but not overly pleased.
Could be more pleased.
Yes. Please see me after class.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So go on then, your turn. What stood out for you?
I mean, this year I've super enjoyed Overwatch, which mega surprised me. I do not like FPSs, and I'm not very good at them. But I have really enjoyed Overwatch, and I enjoy the fact that they kind of balance all the different kind of, like, different classes, and there's a mega variety in it, and adding more variety in the shape of Sombra was super cool. And I'm just glad that ARG ended. Oh my god, I'm so glad that it ended. But she does look super adorable, super cool, and, like, her playstyle looks freaking fun as hell. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, and they had another short, and they're always good. And one of the funniest things I thought was someone said, like, it's nice to see Widowmaker in that short being as useless as she is in game, played by most people. But yeah, no, it's nice that it kind of delved into her kind of backstory a bit, and she does look mischievous and super fun, and her abilities, like the throwable mine, which you can teleport to, the Uzi, the stealth, the fact that you can hack, like, health points, so you can be like, oh, you're gonna get a heal. Oh, no, you're not, mate. Sorry. Uzi. Is pretty cool, and overall her design just looks super fun, and her backstory seems super intriguing. Like, what were your kind of first thoughts when you saw that kind of short? And, you know, we haven't seen her in game, you just saw the short. Like, what came into your head?
She's just adorable. Like, 100% in love with her from the word go. I like the... I think it's the same with every Blizzard game, but with Overwatch, there's not a lot... Obviously, there's not a campaign. And the story that we're given is given to you through the maps, through the shorts, and through the comics. And that short, for me, just, like, is probably the best one they've done. I don't know, Winston's was pretty good.
I was about to say, literally, that was going to be my one. I really liked Winston's, you know, little baby Winston with his peanut butter was pretty cool.
And Winston is my bae, but, like, but it was really great. And I think one of the first things I've been saying for a long time that this is a Blizzard game. They don't have a stealth character. They're gonna have a stealth character. That's gonna be their next thing. And, like, it's easy for me to say that now because it's happened and I could pretend I said it first, but, like, I promise you, I've been thinking it for a little while. And
don't worry, I completely believe you. Obviously,
I'm sure you do that to me. Like, I'm actually psychic, so But no, it's nice to, because I think because the ARG has been going on for so long, and because I was worried it was going to be a bit of a dead hype, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, like, it was such a long build up, so unless that she was good, like, it would peter out and be like, okay, cool, she goes invisible.
Yeah, nice. That's the old great. Yeah, fab. But and it was nice to see Zarya at the end of it as well.
Yeah, like it's like she was such a kind of almost one-note character. Like, oh, she's a bodybuilder, but no, she's a freedom fighter. But now it's like, oh, she's involved in some like skullduggery possibly behind the scenes.
Yeah,
like...
exactly. Like, and my other half turned to me and she said, "I'm surprised Zarya was in that because she's not very popular and she's a bit typecast and all that." But actually, it's they're bringing all the characters in so slowly, and it's nice to like. They leave you with that bit of intrigue, and it's like, what's coming next?
Yeah, like nice bit of world building, a nice little bit of mystery for the characters. And like a key thing for me was like I watched a streamer play it, and before I went into watching this streamer, I thought she seems like the character for me. I'm not particularly good at FPSs, but I can go invisible, so it doesn't matter how good I am. At least I can pop off at least one kill.
Yeah.
And then I've got a mind to teleport me out there, so it means I can be safe. So then I thought, maybe this character is a slightly easier character to play, dare I say. Like, maybe that's the kind of character I like. Needless to say, this streamer completely shattered all illusions by jumping all over the shop and really exposing the kind of maximum potential. Like, he was throwing the mine constantly to teleport to and fro. Like, he was shooting someone from in front and shooting someone from behind. Like, he was staying around, like, health points, which he could then hack so that they couldn't, like, get it. So as long as he kind of teleported back to it, he'd instantly have a full heal. And it was just like, what is going on? This character's already running rings around people, and I've only seen it for like 5 seconds. Like, I'm just like, I went from being like, oh, I reckon I could play that character to like, oh my god, this character's going to be a nightmare to face. But yeah, I think it'd be super cool. It'd be super intriguing to see how that ulti works, which is like the one that breaks all the barriers. So someone like Reinhardt's just going to be standing there with his trousers down, like, oh, what do I do now?
She's on PTR today. So I got home, rushed home, downloaded it. It was already downloaded, so I didn't need to rush home. Like ages to find any groups to play with. So finally got on, like. Nobody had picked a character, so I clicked on Sombra, forgot that on PC you have to press select after you choose them, so I lost her. But I haven't played her, but I've played against her. And she's pitted as an offensive character. I thought she'd be support. I don't know, maybe that was me being dumb.
No. I was just thinking support. I tend to think as healery kind of thing. But I was just thinking she does actually give a lot of utility because the fact that can go invisible, the fact that she can deny health points. Yeah. So it could actually be, she could actually
along
be a support.
Symmetra lines, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
But no, she's offensive, so she's very squishy. If you can get hold of her. But against somebody like Winston, she doesn't stand a chance.
Oh, really?
She can't move fast enough to get away from his... Well, I assume I was playing against people who were playing her for the first time, so they probably can after you've been playing her for a while. But I think like a lot of people are worried she's going to be incredibly OP because she can do all that flitting about, jumping around, and basically bugger you all up. But yeah, I think it's going to be a bit like Zarya again. Like people who don't know how to play her won't be able to play her, and people who do know how to play her, she's going to be unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, speaking as someone who has the Summer Olympic skin for Zarya and quite likes the idea of Zarya, I cannot play her at all. I have no idea how she works. So hopefully it'll be exactly the same as Summer, eh?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But again, just like Zarya, there is a crazy amount of potential, and just like you're right, like people who play Zarya are unstoppable. Like. She's such a good kind of off-tank kind of character. Like, she can buff up the tank, she can flit in between, she can do damage with a grenade launcher. I think Sombra will be just the same. Like, you get good with that mine, you get good at denying people, you get good at being sneaky and having a little patch where you can, like, zip in, zip out. I think you're going to be incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you'll see a lot of her in the World Cup.
Yes.
But did you watch any of the World Cup? Well,
Overwatch. I actually have a super hard time watching Overwatch because the flicking between cameras, I think, is...
It was the red and the blue team for me.
Yeah.
I was like, surely the red team is the enemy every time. And it was just like messing me up. But it was nice to see people playing it competitively.
Yeah.
It was
like...
nice. Go on, sorry.
No. Like, I completely agree that it's great to see, and... If they get like CSGO style tools, and if they get maybe like a camera like a bit away from so you can kind of see it, I think it'd be a great thing to watch because I think it's so made for that kind of esports kind of thing, because it does have character kind of matchups where it will swing one way, it will swing the other way, and you get that kind of almost like a story within it of like, he kind of picked him, so then he kind of picked him, and then he kind of picked her, and then the shoe into that, and he went to this. I think that's totally cool, and it totally works in an esports environment.
Yeah.
I didn't catch as much of it as I liked, and the whole camera switching thing, I think, is something that they will work over. They will get spectator tools better. But I do think that the idea of the World Cup is great, and the idea of that new league thing that they're introducing seems super cool as well.
Yeah, like, it's given me hope that I could, like, one day do something like that. I know I couldn't, and I know that's the whole, like, advertising thing behind it, but, like, I'm suddenly like, yeah, I could do that. I could be famous.
What was his name? Like Destroyer 99?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, Crusher 99.
Yeah, Crusher 99.
Yeah.
And it was like the way that it built in a sort of like semi like misery as well, of like, you can do it, you can get all the way to the top, but then you're gonna fail, but then you're gonna get right back up there. It's like, whoa, I don't need to go on this emotional roller coaster in this trailer, like.
Yeah, no, it should be cool. Like they've announced that new map as well for Overwatch, and the arcade.
Yes, the 1v1 and the 3v3, and there's like that ice map, and I think there's like a kind of pyramid-y style kind of desert map as well, I think, isn't there?
Yeah.
And yeah, that kind of 1v1 thing, like short rounds, just a quick 1v1 me bro kind of idea, I think is kind of neat, until someone just chooses someone, which is like Reaper, and just be like, oh, I'm just going to hang around until I can pop. There you go.
Dead, yeah.
But the 3v3 and the 1v1 thing is nice, and I'm glad that they're trying interesting things with the format, because that kind of wave-based survival thing showed there is things that you can do with this. People will be into it, people will try it, people will give it a go. So just come up with it, see how it takes off. Maybe it will take off, maybe it won't, but just give it a try, because people love that world. People love these characters already, and people will be like happy to try something new, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Anything that mixes it up a bit, because I find after 6 rounds of quick play, I'm a bit like, I really want to try something else now, and it'll be nice to be able to do that and to switch it up, and find a friend that's not as good as you. And,
yes. Hello.
It's all right, bro. You'll get better.
1v1 me again.
Yeah.
No. You just, for your psyche, it's not good. But I am super glad, because like you do want to try something different after a while. Like maybe you want to play a quick match, but maybe you want to have a break in between playing quick matches. So you maybe just want to play a 1v1 or a 3v3, and it totally works in that. Plus, it would be really good to learn a character. Like, if you want to learn a character, you kind of have to admit that you're going to have to suck at that character in a few matches before you get good.
Yeah.
Or a few. And if you do 1v1, you can kind of play that character for short bursts. Maybe someone can be on the other side and teach you how that character works.
Yeah.
I think it totally plays to the strengths of the kind of formula that they've got. So I'm glad that they're doing that.
Definitely.
And then, in terms of the things next, we have WoW. And I will freely admit, I did not see as much WoW stuff as I would like, mainly because Legion is the first expansion I've ever gone into blind, and I've loved discovering everything about it. So as such, I kind of didn't really want to know much about this, because I kind of wanted to find it in game. But being the massive mount whore that I am, I did find out there were class mounts, and I was super excited about that.
I similarly huge mount whore. They're really beautiful.
They do look incredibly good. Like the owly looking priest one.
Oh my god.
Forget about it.
I'm like suddenly I've got a level 100 priest, and I picked a warrior over her to level, and I'm like, why? Why did I do that? Like, I know why I did it. I like playing warriors, but now I'm like, I just want to go back and change my mind. But like, it's one of those things. It's another device they're putting in to make you want to play every character. Everyone like us who likes their mounts and likes showing off and collecting them. I don't know though, and I don't know if you'll be able to answer this question. Is it going to be a quest-based thing?
I mean, I would be very surprised if it isn't another class hall campaign style thing.
Yeah, probably will be.
Like, I hope that it's amazingly epic. I hope that you feel bonded to this creature, or you go on some quests to get it. I hope it's something epic. I hope it's not just, oh, by the way, incidentally, this big old bird thing totally wants to be your mate now.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
But the other thing that got majorly announced was the Tomb of Sargeras.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to that island and I flew close to it and I got teleported away from it and it killed me because I just wanted to see if I could get in the door. So I'm glad that they're putting the raid in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just more intrigued to see how they build into the story because it was so big, that pre-expansion kind of like scenario going up to the doors of it. It'd be intriguing to see how they roll it into the game.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, they have given away some bits of it. They haven't given away a lot, and I'm not going to spoil it for anybody because I'm a good person, you know, because I'm Alliance.
That's and
I leaned into the mic when I said that.
Yeah, I mean, again, we've all got our flaws. You know, I'll take you for who you are. You know,
it's fine.
Maybe you lie about being a good person. Maybe you lie about the Alliance being good. Well, you said the Horde then.
The Horde being good, yeah. Lie about that.
Mate, you know, being awesome. You're right, being awesome.
But yeah, the one thing that, well, I mean, they've also, I have read, but I don't know if, again, I've kind of avoided a lot of WoW stuff because I like to find it out through discovering it myself.
Yeah, I think we're in a similar boat. We like it. We like to see it in world, you know, in context.
Exactly, but I have heard there's going to be a return to Argus.
Yes, I did hear that as well, and I got absurdly excited because I was like, "Oh my god, it's actually happening!"
Yeah,
like we're dealing with now things called Sargeras. We're dealing with like demons. We're dealing with Burning Legion stuff, and now we're dealing with Argus. Like this is insane.
Yeah.
Like wow,
but
like
it makes me worry that the story arc is coming to an end.
Yeah, like, I mean, I've always said that WoW is at its best when it feels like they can't top it, when it feels like they've pushed in as much as they can. I mean, it felt like that with, like, Burning Crusade, where it felt like the ultimate, like, kind of climax of Illidan's story, and then the same thing with Arthas, and now this feels like, these are all the demons, this is Sargeras, mate, this is, like, Kill Jaden, this is it, we're all in, and it's exciting, but equally I'm just like, don't make me go through another cataclysm after this. Don't do this to me. I don't need this.
Anything to avoid that. Anything. But yeah, like super exciting lore stuff going on. And I think even people that aren't that interested in lore are really enjoying themselves. But on the topic of lore and Warcraft announcements, they've also said they're not interested in legacy servers.
I know. I saw this today and it is a shame, and it is like they can't say that people don't want it because it's like not died down for years and years. Yeah, exactly. People have actually made one, which was semi-popular before it got shut down. I was kind of exactly. I was kind of disappointed that they didn't give it a bit more time.
Because I mean, like deviating very slightly, but EverQuest did it. Not that I'm saying EverQuest is in any way comparable to World of Warcraft, because World of Warcraft is it as far as MMOs are concerned for me. But they did it, and the spike in subscriptions they got after that was incredible. It was utterly insane. So I don't really know what their thinking is. They've made a lot of excuses. But you know, it was a shame. I'm a little bit. That's probably what I was disappointed with the Warcraft announcements. But other than that, you know, we're good.
And it does feel a shame that the fact that they just kind of binned it off. They didn't really give any reasons. And I mean, you can't help but think that this is something that's gotta happen. Like whether they allow fans to do it, whether they do it in some capacity themselves. Like people have a hunger for it, and people are tenacious, and they will do it. Like
it'll happen.
so like it would be cool if you got on board and you supported them. If not, then just support the community and just say that it's fine to give it the go ahead.
Yeah.
But a massive disappointment that didn't happen. I mean, I was someone who came in Burning Crusade, so I would like to see WoW as it was, you know. It would be a very cool thing to see, and like, people don't mind putting up with graphics, people don't mind with UI changes, people don't mind this and that, because they accept that it's just an older game, and you go in that with that knowledge. So it's not like people are going to be like, oh, you won't want to play WoW vanilla, like, because you won't want to believe how bad it was. But then it's like, no, people know exactly how bad it was and how unuser-friendly it is, but it doesn't matter to them because they enjoyed it.
Because it's a different game. I've played from vanilla, and it is a different game now. You know, it's not the same at all. And it would be really nice if they just turned around and said, you know what, we know we've changed it, and we know that's a shame with online games, and that they're not going to remain the same forever. But here you go, like, take this, It's not going to be everything, but it's something. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, people don't want the world, they just want just the base game back. You know, they want to feel like how it felt back then.
Exactly.
You know?
And appreciate more what we've got now.
Exactly. Like, there is no better way to show how good your game is than saying, check out this game that's over a decade old. Look how much we've improved it. Like,
exactly. But
yeah.
Other than that, yeah, exciting stuff, especially if you're like a massive lore nerd. So.
Yes, which we found out last week that we both are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I am super intrigued to see how they handle it, see how they handle it, because I know that they're saying that there's apparently demonic invasions that are actually going to happen on the Broken Isles as well. So
yeah,
that's cool.
They don't want to. They announced Sagas and they announced I can't speak all of a sudden, and they announced Argus and all that. But they said they didn't want to spoil what else they've got coming. Which like makes me like, because they said it would be a constant stream of content for this expansion pack, because that was the complaints they got with Draenor, that there wasn't enough, there was too much in one burst and then nothing, and yeah, it would be nice to see what they bring out. Yeah,
because I mean, I was someone who didn't stick around for all of Draenor. Like, I'm someone who's played from Burning Crusade almost solidly from halfway, and I played through Wrath solidly. I played a little bit of Cataclysm, but then I got into that kind of play an expansion, when the drop-off happens, then I'm gone kind of thing. So I didn't realise that Draenor had a huge dearth of content near the end. And like, hearing that kind of broke my heart, because I just came in with Legion and it felt like it was like, oh, everything's hunky-dory and everything's nice again. Like, getting a steady stream of content. 7.1 was a huge bump to the amount of content in the game. So I was like, oh, maybe they've just got better at this, you know?
Yeah.
But so hopefully they have this time.
yeah, fingers crossed.
And then moving on from then to another Warcraft thing. I don't know whether you're as much into it these days. I don't think you are. But Hearthstone, it got a new expansion, like, added. Well, potentially added. It's coming in like the first little bit of December, about Gadgetzan, the mean streets of Gadgetzan. Did you check any of that out?
I have had a brief look. Right, I have a problem with Hearthstone, and I don't know why. I really enjoy it. Last year, around Christmas time, I had it on mobile, and I played it on PC before that, and as soon as it came out, I was well into it. But I have, like, for somebody who spends like more money than they earn on video games, I have like very little time for spending money on Hearthstone. I don't know why. I don't know what stigma I've got attached to it, but I just like, I don't want to pay for the different wings of places. And I played the first wing of Karazhan and I absolutely loved it. And I was like, geez, man, this is great. I need to play more of this. But then I looked at it and I was like, really, that much money? Do I want to do that? I could spend that on that. And probably bought a mount on WoW or something. But I'm excited to see what it brings. But I feel like I probably won't play much of it. It's a nice like addition to Warcraft. But I don't. Yeah, I begrudge paying for it for some reason, and I don't know why. It's not a bad game. I'm not slagging it off. But
you heard that? Slagging it off. All I heard was Hearthstone and slagging it off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Tess hates Hearthstone. Everybody heard it here first.
But yeah, I mean, I was kind of intrigued. I mean, basically, for those who don't know, it's called Mean Streets of Gadgetzan, and it's all about the kind of grimy underbelly of this world. It's like kind of turned up to 11. There's kind of like mobster kind of goblins around it. There's kind of Worgen kind of like trickster guys and stuff like that. It's all kind of very cool, very over the top, almost like pantomime kind of like wise guys going around here and like these kind of cars and stuff like that. And it's very fun. It's very Hearthstone. And one of the key things they introduced was these kind of triple class cards. And they're basically like, there's certain groups of cards which are like grouped into this kind of like faction basically in it. Like, I think one of them is called Cabal, and it's basically spellcasters are all in one group, like priests and mages and stuff like that, all like in one group. And they can use the same card across their three classes. It basically gives extra kind of flexibility. So, I mean, I'd be intrigued to see how that like kind of all goes into the game. It sounds very kind of bold, very kind of imaginative, and is very much a twist on the formula. And as more kind of cards go out of the game, like the Crusade, the Argent Crusade, the Argent Tournament cards are like going out and they're going into Wild, they're bringing in these new mechanics. So it is intriguing to see how that will affect the meta. I do not claim to be knowledge enough, knowledgeable enough to say how that will happen. But I like dabble with it here and there, and I certainly like to, whenever there's a new expansion, I like to dip in, see what it's all about. And I think they did a great job with the Old Gods one, especially the way they introduced it, when you got those extra free packs and stuff like that. And I thought that was great. And if they do something similar, they'll definitely get me in, although I'll most likely go in anyway, just to see what it's kind of about. But it's very nice that they've like committed to it, and even all this time later they're still adding to it and adding different mechanics, not just different cards, is a nice thing. And I'm happy to see how it goes, and I'm happy that they chose an inventive theme, because one of the first things that people saw was like it was like a picture, and it was like greetings from Gadgetzan. And people just thought, oh god, is this just goblins versus gnomes all over again, because they put that in WoW, or they're just rehashing it. But it wasn't. It was something new, and it was a very Blizzard thing to do, to put something new and maybe make people think, oh, is it something else? But yeah, I'm very intrigued to see how it will all unfold, and I will definitely give it a look. But saying that, I am very much like Tess. I'll like dabble with Hearthstone. I'm not massively enamored with it, and I certainly enjoy the Warcraft trappings of it. The fact of like, oh, I know this character, I know that character, and like, and all the little text, which is like allusions to like the WoW and stuff like that, is very enjoyable. But it's not at the kind of forefront of my mind. But yeah, I'm glad that Hearthstone had it. And then moving on from Hearthstone, the kind of last big one was Heroes of the Storm. Are you a Heroes of the Storm player? That made me realise that no was the answer to this.
That's great. I've tried. As you have probably gathered from me talking about it for the last however long we've been talking about it, I'm a massive Blizzard nerd, okay? I love Blizzard to pieces, and I think they are probably, though don't quote me on this because it might change, like, you know, in the future, they're probably they probably are my favourite developer, just because of the time and the commitment they put into their games, and like the community that revolves around it, you know that, and if you know what it's like, if you run into another WoW player, like I met one in the opticians, and like we immediately were like, oh my god, you're my best friend, you know. and it's
like you Horde or Alliance.
Exactly, like,
you're Horde, that's cool. Oh, Alliance, that's a shame.
Yeah, that's a shame. Yeah, sorry that you're so racist, but but no, but Heroes of the Storm, despite having like Jaina in it, who I love, and Sylvanas and Tracer, and like characters that I adore to pieces, I can't get into MOBAs. I just can't. I've really, really tried, and I wanted to really like it. And some of the voice lines are fab, and some of the like little, you know, aesthetic items you can get are great, but I can't get into it. So, I mean, I actually did watch the announcement trailer for what you're about to mention. Yes. I won't take that from you.
Of course you did as well. Yeah. Because of your faction choice. Of course you did.
Of course I did, man. Like, yeah, definitely, because, like, biggest fan over here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, I mean, like, I watched the trailer. I think it was well done, but you know more about Heroes of the Storm than I do, so...
Yes, and the trailer of which Tess is speaking about is this horrible one involving this horrid character called Varian Rin, who, as far as I can gather, has the backstory of Thrall and is a thoroughly unlikable person, and is the leader of a terrible faction. But needless to say, it was rad. It was like hyped up to 11. Blizzard pull it off amazingly, and it also featured Ragnaros, and these two happen to be the two new characters that are being added to the game. And they do put a neat little twist on the kind of formula. Like, Rin, for instance, is the first multi-stance character, so he can go from being a tank to being a DPS, and, you know, all sorts of... and support as well. And he does this just on the fly. And that seems very demanding to me. That seems very kind of high level to me. So whether I will dabble with him, even because he's Alliance as well, I probably won't. Just is very intriguing anyway that they're going to change the mechanics to that. Like, the fact that a tank could be pushing 1 minute and then, oh hello, he sees someone sneak up into the top lane, he then goes and turns into an assassin and then just hits him up and then comes back to being a tank pushing the lane. That seems like super flexible, and it seems like something that would definitely be of great use at the high end of that game. So the fact that they're varying up is great, and I'd like them to do kind of more of this stuff, but obviously I'd like to see how it kind of settles in first and see if he is just OP just because he can do so much stuff. and then the other character is Ragnaros. And I have to admit, I don't know as much about Ragnaros other than the fact that he can take over points. Like, he can, like, take over a tower kind of thing. And he looks pretty beefy, so I'm guessing he might be a DPS or a tank. But either way, I think that he's way off. I think that Varian is a lot more closer to being in the game. As to when they go in, I'm not sure. And I know with heroes, they like to really test them out and make sure they put them in when they're kind of refined. But it is nice to see two different characters. I mean, one of them can take over a point. One of them has multiple stances. It is cool. I mean, last year we had Cho'Gall, who was a two-person one, and the way that they spread it was super fun. Of like, you had to be in a couple of matches with someone else who had it, and that was a super neat concept. And I was hoping for something like that again. Maybe this didn't deliver exactly to that game-changing degree, but maybe the whole two-person mega character was just very overpowered. And maybe they realise that they can't shake it up that much. But it is nice to see two more characters added to it, and certainly the way they've supported that game has been great so far. They've kept it fresh, they've kept it fluid, and I've super enjoyed that. Sorry, that was the sound me dropping my phone.
Throwing things at the floor, man.
Yes, exactly, because that's what you do when you're in Heroes of the Storm. Someone denies you that rage, but you'll be right back in there with another character, so it doesn't matter. That was my Ragnaros impression as well.
Yeah.
Throwing down the like.
Just pure rage.
Just pure rage.
Pure rage from Gary.
But yeah, that was kind of big things. Is there anything that you fancy talking about? Because I know that you had like the weekend pass. How was that experience for you? Like the kind of virtual pass.
I did it last year as well, and I'm not gonna go into it too much in case people haven't seen it or they're trying to avoid it, or all those avid listeners out there. But I watch the arena tournaments because I love it, and I'm not that good at PvP, so it makes me aspire to be that good. And it's just really fun to watch. I recommend it if you've not watched it before and you play World of Warcraft, and you know it takes a couple of matches to get into it, and whereas you were saying to me the other week about how if you play arena it lasts 5-10 minutes, these matches last 20 minimum.
Yeah, when you play on your own when you're in arena, even when you feel like you're good, I mean for me they go 5-10 minutes and you try your best and then that's it kind of thing. You can have a few that occasionally drag out, but they don't go on that long. Whereas these guys, they're trading hits, they're trading cooldowns, they're denying each other, and it's a kind of amazing kind of tug of war, to and fro kind of battle between cooldowns and getting people to use theirs and getting the advantage and stuff like that. It's very back and forth, and it does go on further, and it is very elaborate. Tess is right. The 20 minutes is actual 20 minutes of hard fought combat.
Yeah, I mean, for me, keeping an eye on my own cooldowns is hard enough. Never mind trying to gauge whether the other team has got theirs down. It's ridiculous, but. I mean, that is definitely worth watching. I mean, the opening ceremony, the closing ceremony, yeah, why not? Enjoy yourself. You might as well watch it if you've got the pass. But, I mean, if you're not into it, if you're not a big fan, it's not worth paying the money for it. You know what I mean? You can get all the news elsewhere.
Exactly.
But you do get a cool pet, in World of Warcraft.
I mean, you get them bonuses, and if you're into esports, it certainly seems worth it.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely.
I have to admit, I ended up watching a bit of the Heroes of the Storm finals, and I still haven't completely watched the end. Me and my friend watched on the live stream, but just before the end we had to stop because it was crazy o'clock in England, so we're gonna pick it up again. But it was super fun. You find yourself super getting into it because the commentators do a pretty good job of explaining what cooldowns they are. Plus, if you've played Heroes, you can really, quickly zero into it. I mean, it's just like with WoW. I mean, the same cooldowns, the same kind of attacks that are happening. So it's very involving, very engaging, and the crowd are always behind everything, and it makes it so exciting. And it's incredible to see a game taken to the highest level and see what they do, maybe get a few ideas, maybe learn a few lessons. It is very fun. So, I mean, I was new to the esports side of Heroes, but man, I'd watch next year. I'll watch the final next year. I reckon I would. Yeah, and that's nice to see that kind of introduction of things. I still think that Hearthstone esports is never really going to be for me because there's too much randomness that goes on.
Yeah.
But certainly WoW Arena, I can definitely see how compelling that is, and Heroes, I can definitely see how compelling that is. Overwatch, I'm going to watch that next year when they do the league, and hopefully they revamp a few of the tools, and it's just going to get better and better. So I'm excited for that.
I'm on the topic of Heroes. Of this one, which you again know more about than me. Are you at all surprised they haven't announced Vol'jin?
Yeah. Well, the weird thing is like someone was doing like a WoW Q&A, and someone said something about Vol'jin, and like it was in regards to WoW, like, oh, we could see more of him. But wouldn't it be funny if he was just referring to, oh no, don't worry, Blizzard fans, you'll definitely see more of him. He is perfect for that kind of. Any character is perfect, but a big lore character like Vol'jin, especially one who, spoilers, is currently not with us, as far as we can see. Obviously, anyone can come back, but as far as we can see, and I think that he would be a good fit for it. I mean, he's a big lore character. I mean, I would prefer Cairn Bloodhoof, but whatever.
Well, you can't get everything you want, can you?
No.
Unfortunately not.
So what did you make of the extras? Were they fun? Are you glad you've got your little Murky for this year?
He's adorable, man. So adorable. I've got the Murkadon one, obviously, from last year. Yeah, he's fun. He just runs around after me and is cute. The Diablo one was a Diablo pet, which is pretty cute again. But again, I've got the the Murloc from last year. Yes. You get card backs and stuff like that. It is one of those things, if you are really into your aesthetics in WoW and you want to show off, and if you've got that spectral tiger, then you want that to finish your collection. But apart from that, I mean, I feel like I'm trying to justify why I've paid money for this.
Don't worry, if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. Don't worry.
But no, it's cute. It is cute, and it's one of those things, like you spend your money on something, don't you? So
I mean, when you said it, I was so tempted to get it as well because you were so excited for it. I was like, I reckon I could do this. I reckon I could do this. Eventually, I buckled, but I think next year I might end up doing it.
Yeah.
Plus, there was many moons ago, there was a mount, and it was a polar bear, and it had a little Murky on it with a little BlizzCon flag.
2010.
And I wish I had that mount,
and
I wish I'd have got it then. And I think if they ever did a rad mount for WoW, I might just buckle on spot and just pick it up just straight away. Whether they'll do that now that they sell mounts through their store is another matter entirely. But if they ever did it, it'd be very cool. And certainly, I love to see those BlizzCon things in games, the little flourishes. Because it's this person is very much into the community, and it's a very neat little thing. Yeah. So it's cool seeing that stuff. I do like it.
Yeah. And I like to imagine the pang of jealousy people get when they see it.
Mate, whenever I see... Do you know the little mini Tyrael that was in the game?
In the Vanilla Collector's Edition, yeah.
Yes, man, you've got an incredible knowledge. Whenever I see that popping up, I'm more just respect to you,
sir. And you've been hit from the start, bro.
Well, as we have done the announcements, and as we have talked about the wonderful virtual pass, do you fancy looking back at our predictions? And I can already tell you was far more correct than I was.
That's rare for me, okay? I'm very often completely wrong about things. Again, off on a tangent, but do you remember the game Murdered Soul Suspect?
I do remember that game. I
was so buzzing for that. I made my girlfriend buy it for me when it was brand new. Awful. I was like, it's going to be the best game, it's going to be the best underrated game of this year. No. So I'm pretty pleased with my predictions, and that some of them were, sort of right. I
think yours were pretty on point. We'll go through them just now, but when I made that post, I was like, oh yeah, I've made it, and I made it on a day where I couldn't add to it because I was busy, and then I came back the next day, and then I saw what you'd written, I was like, damn it, she got in first. I think I'd agree with most of those.
The thing is, if I'd done it, it would have just been copy paste, I expect.
Well, it wouldn't have been for mine because mine was mental. But we'll start off with yours. And the first one that you said, which I think is bang on, we'll get Sombra, a new animated short to introduce her. I mean, I wrote the same thing because you can't fight that. I mean, it was going to happen. That AIG had to end. Yeah. We had to get Sombra, but the way that they introduced that with that cool short was very fun, and I'm very glad of that.
Definitely surpassed my expectations. Like, I didn't expect it to be that good. But yeah, so that was right. Tick for me, and you for copying me. But yeah.
Yeah. Who made the article? Hey? But, and the next one is Diablo. That there will be an expansion test.
Which I was okay. All right, not right about everything, but like sometimes you have to put in a bit of wrong information, to hide your psychic abilities.
Don't worry, you can definitely be smug over mine. Some of mine are audacious claims that I thought were going to be in it.
It's fine. I mean, like, you put Diablo 1 with a HD facelift, which effectively is right. But yeah, not an expansion, but sort of an expansion.
Yeah, I mean, it expanded the Diablo 3 style universe with Diablo 1, so yes.
And the new class, which is an old new class, but yeah, okay, sort of right, sort of not, but yeah.
And the next big one is Warcraft class changes, new world quests, and perhaps a peek at upcoming dungeons. Well, that's tick in every single category. I mean, I don't know how much they did in terms of class changes. I know that there is new heirloom stuff coming in, like, not heirloom stuff, the new weaponry, like artifact weaponry is coming in, and certainly new world quests, because I don't know about you, but they added so much to the experience of Legion to me, like at level cap.
I haven't actually got to world quests yet.
Oh, really?
No. I play with my other half, and she's new to the game. Right, this is my excuse. Every time I talk to anyone, I'm like, this is my excuse. And we started Soramar this week. Actually, I hit level 10 about 2 months ago, and then she was like, I want to start a new character. So now she's got an undead warlock, and I've got an blood elf paladin, and
yeah, I mean, you came to a horde side. I appreciate that. See the light.
Left behind my 8 level 100 Alliance characters, and I went to the horde. But no, she wanted to try both, so we did. And so our 110s kind of got left by the wayside for a bit, and then I was like, I really want to do Saramar, can we please do Saramar? So we started doing it, and we're getting there, not there yet, but I have read a lot about world quests, and that they're great, and that, like you say, they open the world up a lot, and the end game is better than ever, and all this, but yeah.
I mean, they fill the world with people, and they give you like rewards that are very suitable, rewards that add to you, plus the lock boxes with a chance of something a little extra. It's amazing. And I've got a friend, and he got a legendary when he did Raid Finder, and it was a legit legendary. He then opens up a lockbox, and he gets another legendary. I mean, I've not got one yet.
Neither have I. Yeah, but I mean, I said also about Sylvanas, and a little bit more focus on her, and that new raid has been announced that we didn't mention earlier. The what's it called? Trials of the.
Oh yes, is it the one that was in the city in the edges?
Yes, I think so. Yeah. Yeah, based on all that Nordic stuff. Anyway. So I wonder if there'll be more of her in that.
Yeah, because like she was in that cutscene against Greymane, and there was that like Vrykul.
That's
not Vrykul. That that fallen angel.
Yeah, that like dramatic scene where she threw the thing and he did the thing, and yeah, that was pretty cool. But it'd be nice to see more of her. But yeah, I don't know if that counts as a prediction or not. Maybe I'm just blowing my own trumpet now.
That's fair. It's fine. It's fine. It's fair enough. And then moving on to me, I copied you with the Sombra dropping and an announcement. I then said maybe we could download her straight off. I think that was just me being ever so optimistic. I still think people would be like, and you could download her now. It would be so cool. But, she wasn't tested. She wasn't in the game. And that is fair enough. Diablo 1 HD. I mean, that made sense. I then decided to say Diablo 4, which was bold. And I thought, well, with it coming out on PS3 and 360, maybe with all the the negative buzz towards that kind of real money auction house, maybe they want to wipe the slate clean, learn the lessons of Diablo 3 and start again. But they didn't. They stuck with it, and respect to them for sticking with it. I mean, that's what Blizzard do. They stick with something and they make it good, and that is fair enough. But yeah, Diablo 4 didn't really play out. More Suramar related content. I mean, we're gonna see more of that wonderful city.
Yeah,
I mean, it is incredible. It has the most. It gives the most realistic feeling of a city in any game. It feels bustling. It feels full of life. I love it. I then said, second Warcraft movie, and I just thought this seemed perfect because although the film was mixed, like in terms of reviews, and personally, I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was that amazing. I think the underlying lore was good, but it had its faults.
I'm gonna step in now and defend it because we're on different sides on the whole like film debate, and like I really enjoyed it. And if you haven't seen it, go and watch it. Don't trust Gary because he's racist against the Alliance. So, but yeah, no, it's not a bad film. But no, a second one would have been cool, and it would have been ideal to announce it now.
Like, I didn't think that they would have a trailer. I didn't think any of that. I think maybe that they would have a screen and it would have Warcraft 2 and then a subtitle. I just thought maybe that might happen. I thought that might be a cool thing. Maybe a closing ceremony thing of just like a, see you next year. Oh, by the way, we'll have a trailer for Warcraft 2, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that might be a neat thing. They didn't go with it. I still think it would have been cool, but very much wrong.
I think maybe the first one came out too recently. It was only the beginning of this year. So, yeah, maybe next year. Maybe you can re-predict it next year.
I will keep predicting it until it eventually comes up.
Eventually, I'll be right.
Oh, I got it like years ago, mate. I was way ahead of the game.
Predicted in 2016.
And then on to Gadgetzan. I saw the Gadgetzan themed pictures. I figured they want to distance themselves from goblins and gnomes. They're going to make it an adventure. It wasn't an adventure. Instead, it was a very different take on Gadgetzan. It was an expansion. I mean, it was still Gadgetzan themed, but yeah. I mean, I can't claim this one. It was a card booster, but yeah, I'm glad that they did something interesting with it, and I'm glad that they did do something to distance themselves from goblins versus gnomes.
Definitely.
And then for Hero, fun character or feature added. I mean, they added 2 characters, both of which look pretty cool, you know. Yep. I'm glad that they did that. I then said maybe they could add Sombra as a character in Heroes, which, I mean, imagine that as the ARG. Like, it comes up at the end of the trailer, she's hacked into it, and she's walking around in Heroes. That would have been amazing.
That would have been cool.
Like, I mean, it's asking too much, but it would have been cool. It would have been very cool. So I think you definitely swept it. You know, you definitely took it over me.
I didn't realise it was a competition.
It's not a competition.
Sounds like it.
And as the Last Life Club team, I think we did pretty well. So we're not competing at all. You're right.
Not at all. No.
Cooperation. Yeah, let's not be restricted by Alliance and Horde boundaries. Just like you came over to the right side of the debate, I agree that I should come over to the right side of the debate of this, that we are a team who predicted it. And a lot of our predictions came true. No. And that's great.
That's cool, yeah. I think we're on a fairly even keel there.
And unless you want to add something else, we could do a gaming firsts, and I thought, as it's WoW, we could do a raid one. As it's a Blizzard one, we could do a WoW raid one. Unless you want to add something first about BlizzCon 10. Is there anything extra you'd like to add?
Not really. It was a big one, and there was a lot there. We didn't get much on StarCraft, which we've glossed over.
No, I mean, yes, that's very true. Like, there was skins added, and like that's about it, really.
But they have just added an expansion, haven't they? So or they've just announced an expansion, so there wasn't really much to tell on that. But yeah, I mean, big stuff for the rest of them.
Yes, certainly.
Which was cool. It's good. Yeah.
Very
so
nice.
We can move on to raids if you'd like to.
Yeah, gaming first. So, vanilla player. What was the first raid that you played in? I'm guessing you were Elite Vanilla Raider, obviously.
I literally wasn't. I was about 13. I didn't do raids for a long time. I did do probably my first one was.
It's just right there, just ready to grab.
It is.
Was it a Burning Crusade one? Was it Serpent Shrine? Was it, you know?
It was still in. No, I don't really know when my first. It would have been Serpent Shrine Cavern, because I don't. Although. Because I never reached 60 when it was vanilla.
Oh really? Never got to level cap.
It was Because you didn't play then, did you?
I did not know.
No.
The first time I got to 70, I got to 70 2 days before Wrath hit.
I think the thing was, getting to level 40 was so much of a ball ache, for want of a better phrase, that like I never made it. I think my highest level ever was 52. And then when Burning Crusade came out, loved it, played it all the way through, got to 70. Don't know if I raided until probably Wrath, and then I definitely did Arthas. I definitely did Lich King, 25 man.
Wow. See, I never did 25 man. Well, actually, the first raid I ever did was 25 man, but the rest of them were 10s.
Yeah, I lie. I completely lie, because I did do I've completely gone from my mind. Illidan. I did it.
Oh,
yeah,
Black Temple.
Black Temple. That's what it's called. Yeah, I did that back when that was hard and real.
Legit.
Yeah, legit hardcore raiding over here. But yeah, it wasn't till late in the expansion pack, because I didn't really play to raid. I played to role play, which,
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's from all the stuff that you sent to it. That sounds like a wonderful, like genuinely, truly, like enchanting side of the game that I've not really seen. Like I'm now on an RP PvP server. I do not RP. I just like watching the RPers occasionally play like a kind of tableau, kind of like play thing out in front of me. I think that's very, very cool. I know that I couldn't do it, I don't think, but I like it. Like I said this to Tess. Like one of the coolest things I ever had was before Cataclysm came out. I was very aware that they were going to wipe away the Alliance side and the Horde side of the game, as it was in vanilla. So I thought, I'm going to experience that. So then I leveled all the way through. And when I got out the Wrathgate event, when I leveled my Draenei all the way up to the Wrathgate, I came out in the throne room and there was a whole garrison of Stormwind Guards in front of me, saluting. I was like, yes, that's right. Yes, that's me. Turns out they're all RPers, and they were just there playing out some of it play. So as soon as they saluted me, they were like, "Praise to you, Varian." I was like, oh, never mind me, eh? Bloody hell, just saved you all, blimey. Yeah. So I just got hot-footed out of there. But yeah, it is very cool, that kind of stuff.
Like when somebody waits to you, or not doesn't wait to you. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, your first raid though. Wrath.
My first raid was Wrath. As I say, I got to 70 a couple of days before the end of Burning Crusade. So for me, it was all about Wrath. And being the cool, edgy, hip person that I am, I rolled a Death Knight, a big old Tauren Death Knight on the day that they came out. And I experienced that kind of spree of leveling with everyone, just like a horde of us going from zone to zone like a plague, just leveling through. And I actually got to 80 pretty sprightly. I got there pretty quickly. And I was with a guild on my server, and obviously they were using their mains. They didn't have to go through the level 58 to like 80 thing, but I did, as I say, got there pretty quick. I then got fully like battleground PvP geared, and I thought I was it. Like I thought I was brilliant. Mm-hmm. Bring on the raids. I'm gonna take everyone down. I'll do this. I then got into the raid, found out the PvP gear does not have hit, which basically means you cannot hit people. So I was doing way under the damage I thought I would be able to do. I was completely humbled by the experience. But going through Naxxramas, 25 man, with a whole group of people, with coordination, was a truly wonderful experience, and something that I still vividly remember. And that was the first experience that I had, going through all that, and every single encounter there was wonderful. Like you get to patchwork, you have to like dodge the little slimes, and then you have to do the dance between like the positive and negative on that, like I can't remember his name, but like he was like that construct kind of thing.
Yeah, I can't remember his name either, but no, there's some really good mechanics in that raid. Really good mechanics.
And it was wonderful, and like getting to the end and finishing it with a whole group of like 25 other people is wonderful. And I got like a tier gear, I got a bit of like tier gear, and I just felt amazing. And it was like one of those things of I'd never experienced raiding before. Like I did 5 mans, and at that point there was no dungeon finder. It was literally just you get some people together, you go through there. Yeah. So like trying to do that with 25 people, to me I was like, how do these guilds do it? So experiencing it was wonderful, and you do see a whole new side of the game, and I'm so glad I did it. And when Kel'Thuzad went down, it felt great. And I still count it as like one of the most like memorable moments of that game to me. And yeah, Mate, it's great stuff, raiding. So as you don't have a first, do you have like a most memorable kind of raid moment that you was in then? Because you said that you did Arthas. Did something stick out from that?
Dying repeatedly at the end.
Repeatedly? Yeah. Did you get him down? Did you get him down before the...
Yeah, we got him down before before Cataclysm came out, but it was the he blasts you off the edge. I can't remember 100% the mechanics of that, but I can remember my entire raid group. We all knew each other, but the problem was we were all role players, so we didn't really have the gear. We had one guy who was experienced, and so it was a very painful but when he went down, that was pretty great, it's that one mechanic that makes him the most challenging boss in the raid. There are others
is it corruption or something that he puts down, or blight?
Yeah, something like that, and it stacks to 25 or something. Yeah,
mate, I vividly remember that.
But I mean, and then there's always that moment where you're like, oh, is he gonna drop invincible?
Yes.
And nobody's sure for a long time if he dropped Frostmourne or not, and then there's the cutscene, and it's just pretty great. All the raids are pretty great. So.
That cutscene in particular, because of the state of WoW now, I farm 25-man heroic single-handedly these days, because I'm doing it for the mount, which is still, I think, a truly incredible looking mount. And I've seen that cutscene a million times, but I always skip it. But this time, last weekend, I watched it and I was like, it's really cool. It's amazing what they did. They took the lore, and sometimes they don't always make the best use of it in WoW, I think, but they really did that time. They furthered Tyrion's story of he was ready to put the helmet on, but then he didn't have to, but he was ready to make that sacrifice. And then Bolvar was just fully committed to it. He even said, forget me. Now I am here. I'm in charge of the Scourge now. Just leave me be. Leave this place and just don't return. And the fact that Arthas finally found peace after his tortured existence, it's incredible, and it's an incredible moment. And I do remember the day that the central fountain in Dalaran changed to the golden statue. I was like, wow.
Yeah. No. So that's my first. Yeah.
First and memorable raid moment. Yeah. I love it. Well, I think that is it, really, for this Blizzcon podcast. I think that Soundbite podcast. I think that we've pretty much nailed it. Yeah, and it's been an absolute pleasure doing this with you, Tess, as well.
Yeah, and you.
And it's always you didn't have to say that. Oh. And it's been an absolute pleasure, doing it, and I'm glad that to find, something in common. It's nice to find a Blizzard nerd with someone who also cares about story. It's all good.
Definitely.
So yeah, thank you for this amazing podcast, and thank you for everyone else. This is it for the show, and we're glad to have you with us. And do you want to plug your Twitter, Tess?
My Twitter. I'm at Little Miss Happy, and you could tweet me and tell me how great the Alliance is and how wrong Gary is.
You shouldn't lie on the internet. It's rude.
People believe everything they hear on the internet. But yeah, tweet me if you like. I'm always about on there. I've got notifications turned on because I'm hip. So yeah. And Gary, you will find at
LLC Gaz. And I just want to make a big shout out because we're now on Stitcher, and we're available on that. And there's over 65,000 radio shows and podcasts for your iPhone, iPad, Android, PC, and anytime on the go. I kind of tried to get that in as stealthy as I could. It still seemed like an obvious plug. But yeah, we're really happy to be on there. And if you can give us some love on there, we'd really, really appreciate that. Yeah. So that's at Stitcher.com. Wonderful. And just cheers for the show. Yeah. Take care, everyone.